The Snyder Cut is finally here. Got to watch it last night, and it was good. What is up, everybody? Mike from Comic Book Fans here, and yeah, the freaking Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League. What can I say? But it was pretty much everything I expected. Yeah, this is gonna be spoiler free. Just so you know, I'm gonna be doing like a spoiler talk video in a few days. But yeah, gosh, it's just insane, like how different this is from the Joss Whedon cut or the 2017 original Warner Brothers, whatever the hell, It's so different. It's so much better. Like, even if you aren't a fan of Snyder, I think you can appreciate a lot of the things in this movie. It's definitely different than Batman v Superman and even Man of Steel. It doesn't have the really dark, brooding vibe that you get in Batman v Superman, and it's kind of obvious that it was meant to be like a whole arc. Batman v Superman was like, the dark chapter. Like, this is obviously very intense, and because it's like the director's cut, it's not afraid to be violent. But yeah, everything in this, like, I let me talk about the good really quick, then like the really small, like, bad portions. Like, obviously it's not a perfect movie, but like no movie is, honestly. Like, if you're really honest and objective, no movie is perfect. So yeah, where do I start? Basically, so I guess I gotta start with the visuals, because Zack Snyder is like, a lot of Zack Snyder's like whole thing is he is such a visual director, and he brought all that to this movie. Like, there's a lot of slow motion shots, so I get why some people don't like that, but they were all really badass slow motion shots. Very cool. Very cool. Pretty much all the special effects were good. There were a few in, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But and all the fight scenes, oh my god! Like, I do not understand how the frick Warner Brothers butchered all the frickin' action sequences. But like, there weren't a whole lot of action sequences that weren't in the original. There were a few, but not a whole lot. But pretty much every action sequence in this movie that was in the other Justice League were like, they were cut to hell and just looked so much worse, and everything is better. Like, just the CGI, the motion, the colors, everything in this is so much better. And a lot of times the scenes themselves were extended, and like even the opening scene, which with Wonder Woman, is cooler than in this, like, so much, like, leagues better. I don't understand who in their right mind would think that this, what we got in 2017 is better than this. This cut's better in every single way. And then, like, even the characters, like, obviously it's a 4-hour movie, so it's long as hell, but it really uses its runtime to develop the characters and develop the story. The story is so much more complex in this. Like, it's pretty much the same overarching story plot, but there's so much more detail to this, and even the way they bring back Superman makes way more sense, and it's way more just intelligently explained. I don't know why they felt they needed to dumb it down for people in the 2017 version, but I guess it just kind of shows what Warner Brothers thinks of you, the audience, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, just the characters are so much better. Like, all the characters are badass. All the main characters, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Flash, Cyborg, they're all so good. And Cyborg and Flash got gypped so much in the original. Well, not original, but the released version. Flash he's definitely kind of funny, but it's still funnier than whatever the hell they were trying to force in the other one. And his freaking action scenes are really cool. Like, I don't know how, like, the other one, like, I was really disappointed that we didn't really get to see a really cool Flash. We got to see a cool freaking Flash in this one. There were a few scenes we were like, damn, he is powerful as hell, and so vital to the whole mission in the end too. Same thing with Cyborg. Like, Zack Snyder said he's like the heart of the movie. He really was. He definitely had the most emotional scenes, probably because he went through the most emotional stuff throughout the movie. But just the way they show his powers and what he can do is so much more fleshed out and so much cooler. And there's just so many other small scenes with other characters, and like, you can say what you want, it is a little bit coincidental that a lot of the characters that they cut were people of color. I don't know why they cut so much, but there were so many like great story elements and so many great characters. I just don't I don't get why they cut it. But anyway, yeah, the characters were great. The characters were really fleshed out and you really cared about them in the end because they were so developed. The story was better, everything was better, and by the end you're like, damn, I want to see more. I really want to see Justice League 2 or and even more, and even like Batman solo movie or project, because this movie really does, they didn't edit anything for really continuity, so they basically did kind of leave the door open for a Batman Deathstroke project and Justice League 2, and they really expanded upon other stuff like that they introduced in Batman v Superman, like the whole Nightmare thing, like all that stuff. Almost everything I wanted to see in this movie was in it. It was really good. If you were like a fan going into this, you're gonna love it. If you're just an average moviegoer, you're still probably gonna really like it. If you're a hater, you're obviously not gonna like it. Or frankly, it might just be not just be. It might just not be your cup of tea, and that's fine too. You don't have to be a hater to not like this movie, but it's great. But now on to the bad. There's a few like nitpicky things. Like there were definitely some parts where the CGI was a little shaky. At least it wasn't terrible, but it definitely didn't seem fully finished. There are probably like 2 shots that I remember noticing. It didn't really take me out of the story too much though, but it was still just kind of And there were definitely parts of the dialogue that were a little cringy. Only a few, but there were some parts that I thought were actually originally in Justice League, but apparently they were in the original, so there were a couple of jokes that didn't land, but overall when they did joke, it was funny. I mean, frankly, that's the only negatives to this. The only other thing I think would be probably like some continuity things maybe, but that's those are kind of spoilers, but yeah, overall just really freaking good, like a visual masterpiece easily. And I think honestly the story and the characters themselves really lend itself to be just a really solid, not just a solid comic book movie, just a solid movie. Like easily one of Snyder's best works, if not his best. So good. Basically everything that it was hyped up to be, it was. So yeah, definitely give this a watch. Hopefully this weekend, guys. It's definitely worth it. And yeah, I'll be coming out with a spoiler talk / review thing later, and also a reaction, like a edited reaction to the film by me, is going to be coming up in probably a few days. It's obviously it was 4 hours of filming, so that's going to be quite an edit, but I'll have it up next week. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and please hit like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and please check out our social media, Instagram, the Facebook group. All that stuff is in the description. Check out our new podcast. We just ranked all of the Zack Snyder movies in our recent episodes, so check that out. Links in the description again, and thank you so much, and we will see you all later. Peace out.